There is a huge Senate primary race that is happening right now in Michigan. If you're in Michigan, I'm sure you're very much aware of this. And these are your choices. And I'm going to explain to you how Obama is now in the middle of all of this as well, and what he is not doing to stop it. Right now, your choices in Michigan are Haley Stevens, who has taken so much pro-Israel money, it is absolutely insane. Over $20 million. Or Abdul El Sayed. No pro-Israel money. These are your choices right now in Israel. The polling is showing that if El Sayed wins, he has the better chance to go on to win the general against a Republican. That's what the numbers are showing. But here's the problem, okay? The problem is the money is funny, honey. Because it's not just that 20 million that Haley Stevens has taken from the pro-Israel lobby. It's everything else that she is doing that should give you pause. And I hope that this is not the case, but I am very concerned. Based on what I saw today, it's not looking good. And it's not because El Sayed isn't doing the groundwork. It's because of the money. A lot of times, the candidate oftentimes that has the most money is the one that wins. Hopefully that does not happen in Michigan. But let me show you just how corrupt Haley is.
Hi, everyone. It's Congresswoman Haley Stevens, proudly representing Michigan's 11th district. On my primary election night, I wanted to thank AIPAC and the pro-Israel community. Our values spoke very loudly this evening. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
This woman, who every now and then she kind of reminds me of that little girl in the movie The Exorcist. This woman has a lot of money and a powerful team behind her. And that's just one of the things that you should be concerned about. But also, she's goofy as hell. Here she is here recently.
I am going to be working on our behalf. I am going to be telling the stories on our behalf. And you better believe I'm going to be doing it with a little bit of joy, a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of energy, and a little bit of stick it to them. Because that's the Michigan way.
I feel like this woman is a cartoon. I really do. Goofy as hell. But she got in there, and she got in there because she had the money to back her. Now, let's get to some of the other parts here, because I'm going to get to the part how this all involves Obama. Here's something else that she said here. For those who are not aware, El Sayed was a part of the uncommitted movement. So he was one of the people that said, Kamala, I'm not going to support you or vote for you unless you withhold the weapons to Israel and an arms embargo. From what I understand, I think he ended up supporting her anyway, which is ridiculous. He shouldn't have done that. But she's actually trying to use that against him. Now, I don't think this is a winning message the way that she does. But this is what she said about it here.
All I'd say is that those activities that happened a couple of years ago, who did that help? When you sat out 24, and look, that vote is an important thing. People are entitled to use it as they see fit. But we also need courageous leaders right now. We need leaders who are willing to take positions and lead transparently, compassionately around those decisions. You know, take them from the bottom up, take them from community. There's a reason why I keep community leaders, locked in my phone number available to them. It's not so that I can always get pats on the back and accolades, but so that we can be engaged in the rigorous discourse, the deliberations of our democracy that move our state forward, that move our country forward, and improve people's lives. I am here to improve the most number of lives possible. That's why I'm running for U.S. Senate.
So, again, she's trying to use that to her advantage, that he was a part of the uncommitted movement. People are asking if she is Jewish. No, Haley Stevens is one of the Christian Zionists. She's one of the Zionists, the Christian ones. And you don't have to be in that. And that's the thing. She took all that money because she knew this would help her get in. And the way that I've kind of seen it, you guys know how my show is. We got to have some laughs here and there, right? We got to have some laughs. When I see this woman's face, like, to me, she looks constipated. Like, that's what I thought of when I see her face. And I see her face pop up on my social media timeline every day. And every time I see this woman's face, I think this woman looks constipated. I feel as though I should hand her, I don't know, a laxative or a fiber supplement real quick. And that would make sense because she's full of shit. You're probably wondering, how did she win in the first place? I'm going to tell you how she was able to win. Eric, let's go to Tight VNC part 2, because I want to explain to you guys how she was able to get in. Because at the end of the day, unfortunately, there are a lot of voters that don't see what you and I see, and they don't look as far as you and I look, right? Here's the first one, the ads. This is the ad that her campaign just launched against El Sayed.
Leaders of Democratic women's groups call Abdul El Sayed's attacks on Haley Stevens sexist and the same tired playbook used against women. That's what El Sayed does. El Sayed called Michelle Obama's work uninspired and ineffectual. He claimed Gretchen Whitmer was bought and sold, and an employee said they were offered payment to keep silent after witnessing El Sayed disparaging women. Let's reject Abdul El Sayed's sexist attacks. UDP is responsible for the content of this ad.
So does everybody see what's happening now? Let's go back to that other part, Corey. Does everybody see what's happening now? So now they're going with the he don't like women smear. El Sayed is sexist. That's what they're going with now. And see, this is what, and this is the thing. Okay, so he said Michelle Obama was uninspiring. How is that sexist? This is going to be a thing, guys. This is going to be used over and over again. So why don't you see El Sayed's ad that he put out about his family and his family roots?
Where did Abdul El Sayed come from?
Here.
We're his grandparents.
We helped raise him.
He became a doctor.
He always wanted to help people.
He got all those kids glasses.
Eliminated medical debt.
Poof!
He buys us groceries every week. He knows what things cost.
Now he's running around with Bernie Sanders trying to change politics.
We love him, and so will you.
Too much. I'm Abdul El Sayed, and I approve the heck out of this message.
So this is important because Dr. Abdul El Sayed said, my family roots in mid-Michigan trace back to the early 1800s. I lived with my grandma and grandpa during my time at Michigan, and they've always had my back. They mean the world to me. That's how far back his family line goes in Michigan. So that's important for people to see. But we can go to the next part, Corey. I believe that sexist comment ad is going to work on some people. This is the sad part. And I believe it because some of the other ads that she released that are already working on some people, like this Obama one. This is where Obama gets into the picture. Haley Stevens' campaign released an ad showing that Barack Obama apparently supported her, or it gives people the impression that Obama endorsed her campaign. when in actuality, Obama has not endorsed any candidate in this race. Here is that ad. This ad is working on a lot of people, and I'm going to show you how many people are falling for it.
My husband worked at Ford for 41 years.
My father worked for General Motors for 30 years.
And when they came for our auto jobs,
Haley Stevens stood up.
She was chief of staff to President Obama's auto rescue.
And Haley Stevens, by the way, she was a critical part of my team that helped the American auto industry come roaring back.
that saved 200,000 Michigan jobs.
She helped save jobs for my own family.
If President Obama trusts her,
so do I.
Stronger Michigan is responsible for the content of this ad.
Everybody see this? Okay, let's go back. And I'm going to debunk some things here. Here we go.
My husband worked at Ford for 41 years.
My father worked for General Motors for 30 years.
And when they came for our auto jobs,
Haley Stevens stood up.
She was chief of staff to President Obama's auto rescue.
And Haley Stevens, by the way, she was a critical part of my team that helped the American auto industry come roaring back.
Okay, yes, she was part of his staff for that auto industry fight there. Yes, she was. That's true. However, this last part is not true. This video that they are showing during this ad is an old video. And they are showing it to make it seem as though Obama is saying this about her recently. Most people are not going to have the time to decipher this the way that you and I do. It's a 30-second ad. It goes pretty quickly. And it's sneaky and it's grimy. And I'm trying to tell you guys, the same energy that was used against Thomas Massie when it comes to the ads, the same thing is happening in Michigan. And unfortunately, people are falling for it. Now, the part here at the end.
That saved 200,000 Michigan jobs.
She helped save jobs for my own family.
If President Obama trusts her,
so do I.
Stronger.
If President Obama trusts her, so do I. But ladies and gentlemen, Obama did not endorse her. And there are many people who saw this and they have decided that based on this ad alone, because they believe Obama endorsed her, they decided to vote for her. Some of them that you're going to hear from that already voted, they did early voting. Does everybody see how this game is played? Now, apparently don't seem to be any rules around this kind of thing. But this is another mind game that they're playing with people. And if you look at what is said here, just to give you an example, this gentleman here, Sam Robinson, went around Detroit and he was asking people, and black people, pay attention, because he went around to different voters asking them who they were going to support. Another thing that she did, her press secretary is a black woman. See, this is by design. So you're going to see her press secretary in this video. I'll point her out. Listen to this.
Haley Stevens, she's running. She works with Barack Obama. She works Michigan's.
That's her press secretary. That's the person out there trying to get voters for her. Yes, Eric, Detroit, wake up. Yes. And see, she's smart because she knew I will have a black person as a press secretary because that'll help me get the black voters. Listen to what they say.
Workforce, she's doing everything she can. She's always out in the streets campaigning, looking for your vote. So August 4th, come out and vote for Haley Stevens. Absolutely.
See this? One of the guys there said he already voted for her. Y'all see how this game works? Now, some of you may be wondering, well, why isn't, El Sayed, putting out a different campaign against this? I'm going to get into the money about the ads in just a second, but this is something I think that people need to understand. When you are running against these establishment candidates that put out these 30-second ads on TV over and over and over again. It is not enough to just have ads on social media. And I know that requires a lot of money because those ads are incredibly expensive. But it seems like to me, something I've noticed over and over again is that you have to remember there's a segment of voters that are not on social media like that. There's a segment of voters that only see those ads that are on TV or that are on the radio. This is how someone like Thomas Massie loses. So what El Sayed's campaign should have done at this point in time is make another ad pushing back on that Obama ad that she put out to correct the record and say, I don't know, something like this. Haley Stevens' campaign says that Obama supports her, but did Obama endorse her? No. Haley Stevens is telling people that Obama supported her campaign, when in actuality, Barack Obama hasn't endorsed anyone. Is Haley Stevens a liar? Can you trust Haley? Something like that. Anything like that. But you have to combat that. Otherwise, people continue to fall for it. Here's another one. I'm going to show you all these people who are falling for this here. Haley Stevens' press secretary and Abdul El Sayed staffer are having a friendly conversation about their bosses here. So that's where they were having some type of conversation. This was good. This one. This guy here, he's one of the big ones that fell for it. Watch.
Let's do it. What? Tell me why. Haley, why?
Obama said so. That's the only reason.
That's all you need.
That's all I got.
What's your name, brother?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. What?
Haley,
tell me why. Haley, why?
Obama said so. That's the only reason.
That's all you need.
That's all I got.
What's your name, brother?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I tell you, the only reason he said is because Obama said so, but Obama didn't say so. Now, Barack Obama could easily clear all this up. So why is he not doing that? Because Obama supports and backs and is part of the establishment. Barack Obama, you know, he loved to talk. He loved to give speeches. Barack Obama could give an interview or a speech today, tomorrow, and say, I appreciate that there's a challenging, robust race in Michigan, but I have not endorsed any candidate. And for that sake of this challenge, I've decided to stay out of this race. Thank you very much. Something like that. But he's saying nothing. He's letting the lie go on. This is the sad part about it, guys. So he knows he didn't endorse, but he's letting it go on anyway. Here's another one. This is important for people to see. It should be on this one here. Okay. Again, this is Sam Robinson, who went around asking people. DW and Donna Mills of Troy say that Haley Stevens' ad with President Obama is the reason they're voting for her. Here's another one. They put a lot of money behind Haley. We don't know a whole lot about him. I asked about AIPAC. The Mills said they aren't anti-Israel, but what is happening in Gaza is a genocide. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to have a conversation. We have to have a conversation with the boomer population real quick. And not all of them. I recognize it's not all the boom booms, but let's talk for a second. They said they understand that it's a genocide, but they're not anti-Israel. Two black folk. Then they say Barack Obama supports Haley, so that's who we're going to go with. We don't know a lot about him, about El Sayed. So let me get this straight, folks. The young man told you she's taking money from AIPAC. You admit it's a genocide that is going on, but you're still going to support Haley because Barack Obama, you believe Obama endorsed her. This is where we're at now. A lot of the people that fall for those ads and don't look further into research, again, no offense to nobody, but it tends to be the boom booms. This is what happened to Thomas Massie. They believed those ads that he was having a threesome with AOC and Ilhan Omar. They believed that. How can you fall for what they said makes no damn sense. No sense. Like, I literally want to knock on the door and be like, hello? That's a problem. When I say we got to have political education, I don't mean just political education during the election season. We need to have political education, needs to be ongoing. We saw that guy there. Now, David Weigel, who's a journalist, said Obama office reiterates to me, to David, and I assume others, that the former president hasn't endorsed anyone in this race. But Barack Obama has not made that a public statement. He just said it to David, and David could write an article about it. But the reality is the people who saw the ad are not going to see David's article. You see the problem? We got a problem. We got to have this conversation. Like, as Americans, we got to have a conversation here, because the reality is whoever wins the black vote is going to win. That's what's going to happen in Michigan. Whoever gets the black vote, they're going to win. Here's another one. Evelyn from Harper Woods already voted for Haley Stevens. So listen to what she said.
So you say you like Haley Stevens?
Yes, she's for the people. Yes.
And what makes you say that?
Well, I believe in everything she's saying and what she has represented so far.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen her ads on TV?
Sure I have.
Yeah. And what do you make of folks nationally? You're watching MSNBC or CNN and they're talking about Michigan's Senate Democratic primary as like a inflection point within the party. They say, well, if Abdul wins, the party's going to go this way. If Haley wins, the party's going to go What do you make of that?
Not really.
Not much?
No.
No. You're voting for your... So you say you like Haley Stevens?
Yes.
So see what I'm saying, guys? So when we say, fight back against the establishment, we have to remember there's a lot of people, especially a lot of voters, older voters, that are going by what they see on mainstream TV. Those 30-second ads are actually effective. Now, for those of us a lot of us that are millennials and of course Gen Z, I mean, I don't watch TV like that. Right? So a lot of times I'm not seeing those ads. I do see ads on social media. I do hear ads sometimes on the radio, but we're talking about a population. For example, my parents watch TV. Yes, they'll watch streaming platforms every now and then, but for the most part, my parents watch TV. They see the ads on television. They don't see the ads on social media. My parents aren't on social media like that. So there needs to be political education. And this is why I've been trying to wake people up to this for so long. Yes, a lot of the people on social media are going to see those things. But we have to remember all these people that he talked to here, apparently they're not seeing this stuff on social media. Otherwise, they wouldn't have believed that ad. We'll go on to the next one here. Dennis, however, knows the deal. Dennis Boatwright, who I've had on the show, he's the director for the Center of Pan-African Studies in Detroit. Now, Dennis is more aware, definitely active on social media. I want you to hear what he said.
Donnie in New York, the current mayor is winning with landslide because people are losing faith in the current status quo black politician, and you slowly see them being displaced. And this is why one of the reasons why even Detroit, a good friend of mine, by the way, Rashida Tlaib, she's win by landslide because the typical Hakeem Jeffries type, old guard Clinton, even Obama, by the way, and I like Obama, they're being replaced by people that the younger people feel that they are responsive to their needs and ideas. So I can see even in this election is the Democratic Party have to give us more than Trump is the boogeyman, he's the bad guy, which he is. But what I'm saying is you have to have more answers and more solutions than just blaming everything on Trump. And this is why we see a lot of younger people like yourself that's getting disenchanted with them and replacing them people like Mondani, who are taking critical position even towards Israel and for the Palestinians, but yet he's still winning against all of those lobbyists who are paying to try to get him out of here. So and this is why, by the way, you even have Cori Bush starting to come back and run again, because they see an opening that people tired of the status quo politicians, people like yourself.
What do you?
So then he gets to the Obama part. So Dennis is more aware. He knows what's going on. He understands. But what I'm trying to warn people about, and this still doesn't mean Haley Stevens could still lose. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that in order for her to seriously lose, the young people are going to have to come out. And we know with the primary elections, a lot of times the young voters don't show up. They're going to have to really come out heavily. Otherwise, she's going to win. This is a big one. And I really don't want constipated woman there. I really don't want that woman to win. I wish, El Said was not running in the Democratic Party. I wish he was running as an independent, but I also know how it is in Michigan as well, too. But that woman, like, I don't know what to say other than the fact that if the young people don't show up, she's going to win. Now, listen to the part that he said about Obama.
Make of Obama being invoked in this Michigan Democratic primary race. He's in the ads with Haley Stevens. Of course, he hasn't weighed into this race specifically, but Haley is using him saying good things about her in television ads. And when I talk to people that have voted for Haley Stevens, they tell me that that's why.
Oh yeah, that's why. And you also will see with Obama is that there's no pushback on that widely circulated campaign ad that she's using him. But it also says, and I hate to say it, that some of these politicians don't have their own ideas, so they got to use Obama, they got to use Rahm Emanuel, they got to use Bill Clinton in order to get themselves credibility. Whereas you look at people like Mondani and Rashida Tlaib, for example, they use themselves.
Yeah, Haley Stevens is relying on Barack Obama, and she knows that a good portion of Black voters still like Barack Obama. I don't know why, but some of them still do. Let's talk about the money. Mish Voter says pro Haley Stevens TV and digital spending is now at almost $50 million. All of it is super PACs. Guys, that is absolutely insane for a primary. She has the money. This is another part that people are talking about. People are commenting here and they're saying that amount of money for a primary is insane. It's bullshit. If this bullshit is acceptable to Dem voters in Michigan, the future looks really dark. Again, a lot of this is super PACs. So the way that you have to combat that is you have to be able to run as many ads. And I want to show you the difference. If you look at the volunteer events for Haley Stevens' campaign, it says unacceptable for a swing state Democratic candidate. Look at this. This is crazy, right? Where's the phone banking? Where's the volunteer events? Look at this. All you get is 3 virtual phone banks. And you know why? She doesn't have to do as much, right? Because she got the ads. She got the ads. So she only got these 3 events for phone banking. We'll come to that later. This is something that everybody needs to see. Because the reason why I'm showing you this is I want to show you how someone who may not have all these phone banking events set up, may not have a strong ground game. I want to show you how that person can still win because they flood the TV with their ads. Boomers come out and vote. They vote. Older people vote. Especially in primaries. They come out and vote. So in order for Haley Stevens to lose, the youth is going to have to show up greatly. The other thing is those who, the Arab American community in Dearborn and the whole like Detroit area, they're going to have to come out and vote and support El Sayed. But it's like both of those things have to happen. Otherwise, he's going to lose. Now, the polls show that he's a little bit ahead of her, but we've seen this before. And Barack Obama, what I believe he should be doing at this point in time is he should be making a public statement that he has not endorsed any candidate in this race and that he saw the ad. You know, I gave you the example of the statement that he can make, but he's not going to do that because he is ingrained and part of the establishment. So there you go. Mind games, ladies and gents, mind games. These deceptive ads, I know we look at it and we're like, okay, let's look into this a little bit deeper. But the reality is most people don't do that. Some people don't have time to do that. And most people just see what they see for 30 seconds. And then the frequency matters as well. If you see that same ad, you're watching TV for like 3 hours and you see that same ad 5 times, that matters. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.